Hey guys, in this video you will learn how to create mountain generator using geometry node. This generator is super advanced and has a lot of settings. But if you like to get the organized version of this generator like this, you can check the link in the description. And also if you purchase the blend file, you will get this material. Look how amazing detail this material has. Now let's begin. Okay, I'll start by adding a plane, split up a new window from this corner, change this to geometry node, create a new node setup, then I'm gonna name it as mountain generator. Here I'm going to add in a grid node, then plug the mesh output into our geometry output. Here, for the size, I'll turn mine to 8. Then for the vertices, I'll turn both of them to 500. To create that mountain look, we have to displace this mesh. So how do we actually displace this mesh? The answer is set position node. Hit Shift A, then add in a set position node, plug it there. To create this mountain look, I like to start by creating a frame for all of our textures. To do so, I'm going to add in a gradient texture node. Then plug this color output into our offset. Now you can see that this is terrible. And that is because Blender is displacing vertices randomly without knowing their normal. So to tell Blender their normal, we are going to add in a normal node, then add a vector math node, set this to multiply, plug the color into the second socket and the normal output into the first socket. Now change this from linear to spherical. You can see that now we get this cone shape thing, so I like to improve it. To do so, I'm going to add in a vector math node, plug the vector into the vector. Here, like a shader node, I'm going to add in a position node, plug this one into the vector. Now let's play around these numbers to get something that we like. Before that, change this add to multiply. Then now let's play around this thing. Maybe I'll turn mine to minus 0.26, 0.26. I think this will work. And yeah, that's it for our framing. Now let's start by creating the actual displacement, right? Now let's add in a noise texture. Then for the scale, let's use the value of 0.4. Then add in a mix node, set this to color, plug this one there, then the factor into the second socket. Here, I'll change this to multiply, turn this to 1. Now, let's play around the detail and the distortion. First, I'll play around my detail. Let's use the value of 5. Then for the roughness, I'm going to use the value of 0.514. Then for the distortion, I'm going to use the value of 0.07. Great, this is our mountain base. But I like to add height for this thing. So to do this, just add in a math node, put it here between the multiply and the vector multiply, change this to multiply, then I'll turn this to 1.5. Now I like to add a little bit of detail on this noise texture. To do so, add in a Voronoi texture node, Then I'm going to add in a mix node, set this to color, then plug the factor from the noise texture into the A socket, then the distance from the Voronoi into B socket. Then here on the mix, change this to multiply. Then plug this one into the B socket. Now, to visualize the Voronoi effect better, I'm going to change my multiply value to 4.5. This will make it choppy. I don't know exact word to describe this thing. Here, let's play around the factor. I'll turn this thing down. Let's try the value of 0.31. I think this will work. Then now, let's play around the scale. Since this is the base shape of our mountain, keep the scale value lower, like 0.73 or something like that. I think it is looking great. First we added this noise, then we added a Voronoi on top of it, which is cool, isn't it? Now let's add another layer of detail. Here I'll select these nodes, then move them out. Then I'm going to add in a Voronoi texture node. Then plug this distance into the multiply right here. Now I'll turn this to distance to age. Then let's play around the scale. I like to make them smaller, so I'll use my scale value of 18.99. I think this will work. Here, I like to frame this texture as well, so I'm going to add in a math node, set this to multiply, plug this one there, then plug the color from our gradient texture into the first socket. Cool. Here, I'm going to add in a mix node, set this to color, change this to multiply, then I'll plug the result from the base shape into the A socket, then the multiply from the second layer into the B socket. Then plug the result into the first socket. Okay, now you can see that it is too intensified, so I'll turn my factor to 0.025. I think this will work. To intensify this effect, I'm going to duplicate my multiply node, then set this to like 1.5. I think this will do. Maybe, you know what, I'll turn my multiply to zero 0.9. Yeah, I think it's looking cool. Now, let's add third layer of detail. To do so, I'm going to add in a Voronoi texture node. I'll push these nodes out, plug the distance into our value, then let's see what we have. Let's play around the scale, maybe the value of 4.25 will do. Then to control the fall of these sharpie rocks, I'll add in a color ramp. Then let's play around the black value. I'll turn mine to 0.285. I think it is nice. Now let's blend these two texture sets together. Here on this multiply node, hit Shift D, plug the result into the A socket, the color into the B socket. Then plug the result into the value socket, then remove the color ramp. Let's play around this thing. Okay, I'll turn my factor to 0.06 maybe. This is without and with our Vorno effect. Now let's shade this thing smooth. To do so, and that is because you cannot shade this thing smooth on the viewport because we generated this mesh inside geometry node, right? So we have to shade this thing smooth inside geometry node as we created it inside geometry node. Now let's play around the vertices number. I'll turn mine to 1000 and let's see. Okay, we have this amazing detail, right? Now to create a material for this thing, you can add a set material node first, then create a new material right here. I'm gonna call this to demo, okay? Then select it right here. For example, I have this Therian material from the last project. So I'll open it here, then here choose the Therian texture. Then if we jump over to our rendered mode, yeah, it is cool, right? And yeah, now you can play around any of these values and you can get random results by turning these textures into 4D. You can change the W value here like to 7 or 60. You can choose whatever you want. By using the same technique over and over again, you can create amazing results. But if you purchase this generator blend file, you will get this generator in advanced manner and complex GeoNode setup. And also, if you purchase this generator, you are supporting me in what I do. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.